All right, we can start now. So today's workshop is about using Looker Studio for data visualization. And if you're thinking about like what really data visualization is about, so this is a simple presentation. I just got this one from Google. Just did a quick search. So really, whenever we are looking at the data, that can tell us a lot of story. And the more simpler way you will be able to explain it to others, that's better because others can understand that, and that's what is the real value in business. Now, in this case, as you can see, this is a pie chart and this is explanation on your right. This is definitely telling a story here. Now, out you can see that 45% of something it is showing, and then some other details it is saying that 83% of that particular data. And then also to explain it to that, in this case, you can see that let's say you are a student and you are in computer science engineering, computer science and engineering branch. So it can tell you that 45% of the students scored better in database management systems. 83% students found it difficult for data structures and arrays. And also it can think it in this way that 62% of the students overall they find the topic as difficult. So now you can have a pie chart on the left and you can have some explanation on the right. That is how you can understand that data in a much better way. And also not only that, there are different type of charts and graphs we can use, something called bar charts, line charts, pie charts, scatter plots, heat maps, tree maps, and then there is a lot more. So it doesn't matter whichever tool you are using, whether you are using Looker Studio or Power BI or some other advanced tool, and even uh, Excel and Google Spreadsheet, each of them, they have their own advantage, and there is definitely some type of inbuilt data visualization tool that you can use. Again, your goal is when you will go for interviews, they're going to ask you, explain me what is data visualization and how are you going to do that activity. And then the better explanation you can give them, the better. But before doing that one, you must understand by yourself what is data visualization. And again, the U2X AI concept clarity tool, it can simplify many complex topics into smaller chunks of information. So feel free to use that tool as well, just to ask the question, what is data visualization? Show me examples, and you are going to get a much easier explanation, and then you can proceed further. So now, anyway, so other than the foundation thing, so let's go about to see how our course structure look like. So what we are going to do, this is about step-by-step guide creating dashboards in Google Looker Studio using retail supply chain data. So when you browse to this topic, you have your data files. You can download the data file here, and here are certain steps you need to do. Now, when we're going, some of those data, sometime you may see that the system is asking you to do, the instruction is there to create a geolocation data, but the data file does not have the geolocation information. So then that is up to you. Go and troubleshoot using all the AI tools available there. What really you need to make a geolocation data. Then that this is just an example. So wherever you struggle, of course, we are always here. We can help you. But before doing that one, you should go and check with the different type of tools, whatever is there. You can use pretty much any tool, and that is what is going to help you understanding this question, right? So the U2X GPT tool is kind of an enhanced version of ChatGPT. So you can use it for any purpose. But that is kind of, if you just want to use one tool which is going to solve all your questions, then you can use that one. The answers may not be as good as the concept clarity or other tools, because those tools are specially trained and programmed to do certain tasks, but you will have an overall idea. All you have to do is ask it, give me simple explanations, what is data visualization, that you can get the answer. And then give me simple explanation, what is Looker Studio, how am I going to do that, how am I going to use, what are the type of details required for geolocation in my Excel spreadsheet, and you should be able to get the answer from there. But what we want you to do, you definitely need to give it a try by yourself. That is how you will be ready to solve any problem, whatever comes on your way. Okay, so now there are step 1, step 2, step 3, everything is here. I'm expecting you to go and start working with this one, but this workshop is about helping you, giving you a jump start, like in what is really this thing is about, and how, if you need some additional help, also this demonstration is going to be helpful. So I'm going to stop here. So Sindhu, you can take over from here.
Thanks, Sam. Hello, everyone. Myself, Sindhu. Today, I'll be explaining you on data visualization using Looker Studio. So, let's talk about what data visualization is. So, data visualization in Looker Studio means turning a raw data into charts and graphs. Let's also see step by step wise how we are gonna use data visualization using Looker Studio. So in the course player, so there is introduction given on Google Looker Studio. You can go through that. Then there is a file which you're supposed to download it, and you have to start step by step wise. So step one says import the data into Google Looker Studio. So it says there is a detailed steps given here. It talks about open Google Looker Studio, go to Looker Studio, use your Google account and create new report. So and this is the overview of the Google Looker Studio. So you have to click use it for free. So then it takes you to the Gmail account, then connect it with your Gmail account. So it displays the blank report like this. Then click on create option. Then here you have an option called report. Click on report. So it will give you a blank canvas. See, this is the blank canvas. So again, whenever you need to add a report to the data, it displays the option called file upload. So always make sure your Excel file is saved in CSV format. And before uploading a file, you need to format a date as given in the curriculum as year, month, and date format. So make sure you change the date accordingly. So select date column, go here, then click on more number formats. So it will display like this. So you have to choose year, month, and date and select OK. So it is like changed. Then click on save. Come back to the Google Looker Studio. Click on file upload. So already I have worked on one specific file. So I'll be like deleting it. So delete data set. So I need to upload a new file. So I'll be deleting the existing file. Then to upload a new file, click on upload file. See, your file is like uploaded. Once it is uploaded, here it shows as uploaded. Then it enables the add-on button. See, uploaded. Whenever you're not saving the Excel file in CSV format, when you upload, it pops out an error and it gives you a specific reason why the file is not uploaded. Now click on add button. Then click on add to report. So you're adding your CSV file to the report in Google Looker Studio. See, this is the Canva that is like open. So whenever you have added a file, it gives you a table and it gives you the raw data, whatever inside the CSV file. So delete this. So if you look at the curriculum, we have already created the report, then we have added the data, uploaded the file, and we have already converted the date format as year, month, and date. Now the step is like we are supposed to convert the specific row such as sales, inventory, demand forecast as a number, and category, location, weather condition as a text. So what do you do? So click on resource, manage add data sources. So you will get the file where you have uploaded. So click on edit option. So it will display the number of rows and columns that is there in the CSV file. So I am coming to the converting it as a number. So sales, inventory, and demand forecast. So sales is, or actual sales is already in number. If this is in text format, you can convert into text, and if you want it in number format, you can click on numeric and number. Inventory. So inventory level is also in number format. Make sure you keep it in number. Then demand forecast. Demand forecast is in text. So we need to change this into a number format. Click on the drop down button, numeric, and change it to number. So the next step is like category, location, weather condition should be formatted as text. So category is in text. Then weather condition is also in text, and location. So location is also in text. Once you're done with all this, then click on done. So it is like added, it is changed. Then click on close. So we are done with step one. We have already formatted whatever is required, the date column, and we have changed it into numbers, and we have changed it into text. Step two. So step two talks about the set up key business metrics for analysis. So there is a raw data. So you need to use U2X AI tool to find the formula for what is total sales, total revenue growth, demand forecast, and what is inventory turnover. So let's see how we can use. So go to U2X AI tool, click on U2X GPT. Then we can like just loading. So I need to find what is my total revenue or calculate inventory levels. Help me out to help me with an formula to calculate inventory levels. See, so your formula is ending inventory is equal to beginning inventory plus purchase minus sales. So you need to prepare your report based on the column you want. It can be like units, number of units order, then units sold, then on time delivery. So how do you calculate on time delivery? So show me the formula to calculate on time delivery. Whichever column is required for you to calculate this, you can take help of the U2XAI tool. So it shows to calculate on time delivery is so on time delivery divided by percentage. So you can use this formula. So it is giving displaying the formula also. You can use the same formula. So this is how like step two, whatever you wanted, you can like use all this with the help of U2XI X AI tools. Then step three is create sales and revenue dashboards. So add sales trend chart, add a chart and select line chart. So we are going to Google Looker Studio. So it talks about like add sales trend chart, add a chart. So it is particularly asking you to generate a line chart. So here click on add chart. So it is asking you for a line chart. So click line. So you can drag it here however you want. So then go to style. You can enable show title, then rename it as sales trend chart. Then come back to setup. Then it says set x-axis as date and y-axis as total sales volume. So x-axis as a date. So here this is date range dimension. This will be automatically taken. So x-axis as a date and y-axis as total sales volume. So look for sales volume. Here I have total sales volume. So I'll click on total sales volume. So I'll ignore this. So if you see, so this is generated in a date wise. See a line chart, it is showing you in a line chart. So you go to the style option again. If you want bar, you can give bar, you can change it to line also. Then if you want to show some data labels, you can always show some data labels if it is like required. Then you can like add axis, add left x-axis, it talks about the sales volume. Then x-axis talks about the date. So you can add all this in the style column. Then if you want to add some color also, you can change the background color of the chart. Then if you want a log scale, you can give log scale. So it is like changing here. So however you want to make the changes, you can make it. If you want to add some reference line, you can add continuous reference line, all this. So we are done with adding line chart and displaying the total sales volume. So it is like comparing the sales volume. So however you want, you can like add it. So next is like compare demand forecast versus actual sales. So it is like it wants you to compare the demand forecast and actual sales. So it is asking you to generate a bar chart for this. Again, click on click on chart. So bar. So um add demand forecast and unit sold as two bars. So it is like talking about demand forecast and unit sold in two bars. So what I'll do is like demand forecast, demand forecast in the metric column, since those are the metrics. So I'll be adding demand forecast in metrics, and unit sold is also again a metrics. See, it is like displaying two bars. It was asking for two bars. When you click on this, you can see Jan 15, 2024, the demand forecast was 2243.97, and on Jan 15 the unit sold for the demand is 2182. So you can like visualize in such way. Then if you want, as I told earlier, you can enable the title. So demand forecast versus actual sales. Then you can keep it in the middle. Then if you want to add stack bars, you can add like this. If you don't want, you can like ignore. Then you can add and reference line. Then you can show the axis over here. If you want left axis, you can enable left axis. Then show right axis, you can enable this. So however you want, you can add it. So our demand forecast and unit sold is done. So it talks about display total revenue as a KPI. So it is asking you to display the total revenue. Then it is saying add a scorecard widget. So this is done. So again, click on add chart. So here you have an option called scorecard. So you can choose any of the design pattern. Click on scorecard. So it will give you the option to set up here. So select total revenue and format as currency. So it is asking you to select the total revenue. Since our this one total revenue is in a metric form, that is a numeric form. So we are selecting a total revenue here, and it is asking you to, it is just displaying the total revenue in numbers, not in INR currency. So you click on edit option in the under metrics. Then the data type is number. So click on number, then numeric, then you have an currency option, then click on Indian currency. So now it is like displaying the currency. So if you want to change again, you can like enable this total revenue. Uh, you can rename it. Then if you want in numbers, you can add, if it is asking you to format conditionally, you can add conditional formatting. All these changes, wherever it is necessary, you can make those changes. The next one is, we are done with this. The step 3, like create sales and revenue dashboard. We have created like sales trend chart. We have created, we have like compared demand forecast versus actual sales. Then we have like generated the revenue for that. Step 4 would be create inventory management and stock optimization dashboard. It talks about the inventory management and stock. Visualize inventory levels by category. It is asking you to visualize and analyze the inventory levels by each category. So add a chart, select a pie chart. It is asking you to display in a form of a pie chart. So go to charts. Whenever you're adding any chart, so you have to click on add a chart. So it is asking you to display pie chart. So I'll be like displaying the pie chart here. So it is already automatically taken since I've already loaded the data with full visibility. Choose product category as dimension and inventory level as metrics. So here you have the dimension and metrics. So here it is asking you to choose the product category as dimension. So we have the product category on right hand side. Make sure you add the product category under dimension and inventory level as metrics. So inventory levels supposed to be added under metrics column. So now you can see the changes, how it is exactly taking. So it is showing in form of percentage. If you want, you can change in form of numbers also. Then it is asking you to generate a highlight low stock product. So for this you have to add separate table. So what I'm gonna do is like I will be adding a table here. Add a chart. So you have it column table. Once you're added table, it is asking you to add store ID, product ID, inventory level, and units sold. What I'm gonna do is like search for store ID. So I'll be adding store ID here. Then a product ID under dimensions. Then inventory level. So inventory level and unit sold. Unit sold. See, it is displaying the store ID, the inventory level, product ID, number of units sold, and inventory level. So, okay. From metrics, you can remove inventory level because we are adding all this in only the dimension, under dimension. Then it is asking you to apply conditional formatting, red for low stock items below 20 and green for high stock items. Go to style, show title. So you can name the title as highlight for low stock product. Put in the middle, and you have an option called conditional formatting in style. So click on add button. It is like asking you the single color or the color scale. So I'll go with the single color because I want the red color to highlight for the low stock items, so which is like below 20. So select a field that is like unit sold. We are comparing the unit sold. Condition is less than, then input value is below 20. So I want the color as red to be highlighted. So red, and click on save. So if you see here, it is like converting, whatever the unit sold, low stock level below 20 units. The unit sold is 11 and 16. If you see, it is all highlighting the below value, which is 20. So you can see how it is like highlighting. Then this is done. Then outcome is like pie chart shows how inventory is distributed across like product categories. If you click, you can see it is like given groceries, toys, electronics, clothing. It is like categorized in different categories of the product. Then table highlights product needs restocking. So whichever the product is below 20, this from this store and from this inventory level, it needs restocking. So this is the outcomes of that. Step 5 is like analyze pricing and discount effectiveness. So it is asking you to analyze the pricing and discount effectiveness. So create a scatter plot to analyze pricing impact on sales. So it is asking you to again add a chart. So that is a scatter plot. So we are basically using the different type of charts in order to figure out the actionable item, converting the raw data into actionable items. So click on add chart. So you have a scatter here. So scatter. If you want all this charts in a very different page, you can click on add page and you can like highlight. I'll show you that also once this is done. So set x-axis as price and y-axis as units sold. So mainly here it talks about matrix x and matrix y. So here x-axis as price. So we are supposed to see what is the price. So price is basically the selling price per unit. And y-axis as unit sold. So y is like unit sold. So it is like displaying the product category. So okay. So track discount impact on sales volume. So it is like displaying the product category. Then in style, you can like enable the this one. So then you can keep it in middle if you want. Then you can change the color of the chart, whatever is like required. So I'll keep it in red so that it highlights what are the product category. Then if you want, you can add reference line in case of required. So I've added the title for X and Y axis, then setup. So we can also see what if we are by mistake if you're adding the selling price and unique unit sold under dimension. So what I'll do is like what happens exactly selling price and unit sold. So it gives the wrong this one. So selling price is 11.71, unit sold is 373. It is displaying the wrong this one. So you have to always know what is metrics and what is dimension. As it is like product category under dimension. Now it is like enabling you the product category. The next is a track discount impact on sales volume. So how do we track discount impact? So click add a score and total discount given. So click on chart. So this is the scorecard. So here I'll be adding the scorecard. Total discount given. So you will be adding total discount given under this one. So I have like I already calculated what is the total discount given. So I'll be like taking it from the report directly. So whenever you need total discount, use U2XAI to calculate what is your total discount and how it is like given. So total discount given is 519.28. So if you still want something to add, so you can click on add a field or add a field here, add a calculated field. So you can rephrase it. So I can give total discount given. So field will be the same as it is. Don't change anything. What is the formula for discount? Is like selling price per unit uh, into discount divided by 100. So click on. Okay, here you can see it says invalid formula operator does not support text numbers operator. Why it is showing in the sense selling price is there in text format. So always we need the selling price in number format. So what are we supposed to do is cancel this, go to resource, manage data resource, then click on edit option, and we want selling price as. See, selling price per unit is in text format. So we need to change it in number format. So you can click and change it in number format. It is changed. Then click on done, close. Now I'll apply the same formula here. Add a field, add calculated field. So I'll give total discount given. So I'll add the formula selling selling price into discount divided by 100. See, then click on save. So it is like updated. Once you're done, here it will show you like what is the total discount you have like added. See, this formula was not that total discount. So you can add the total discount. Now it will change. See, the total discount given is 1875.03. This is the total discount given for this one, given for sales volume. Then it says click add chart, select scatter chart. So this is for calculation of total. Okay, this is the this and this both are same. So if you want to use any of the other one, you can use either. You can use scatter chart, or you can use trend line or something for this. So I'll go with the step 6. So it talks about perform customer sentiment analysis. So as I already told you, if you want to do it in a single this one, you can do it, or if you want to do it in the next page, click on add page. So here you will get this plus button. So it is already given me. So I am like renaming it as perform customer sentiment analysis. So create a word cloud tree map for customer review. So word cloud is basically nothing but a tree map. So click on add chart. So there is an chart called tree map here. So click on tree map. So it is already the data I have like uploaded. This is already taken. So it says under dimension, you have to add customer name. Under metric, you have to add competitor pricing. So under dimension, it is automatically the customer name is taken. So under metric, you're supposed to add competitor pricing. So look for competitor pricing here. So this is our competitor pricing. So add competitor pricings. See, if you click on this, it displays the customer name as David, and his competitor pricing is 2860 or 7.88. If you want, you can add whatever else is required here. So you can custom it, then you can add filter, then go to style, then you can enable the title. So you, if you want, you can change it. So if you want, you can like however you want remap, you can rename. So I can change the color. See, color. So all this you can do with this. Step 7 is like as already Sam said, we do not have the raw data for a geo map. So you can like ignore step 7. And you can also ignore all this. When you have the raw data, you can start using the geo map, and you can give x axis and y axis. Then you can use the weather condition as rainy, sunny, and see how it works in real case scenario. So for time being, I'm like ignoring step 7. And step 8, it talks about add filter and make the dashboard interactive. What exactly it is? So it is asking you to add date filter, add a control, select a date range filter. So whenever you need to add a date, you need to select a date range from start date to end date. How do you do it? There is an option here called add control, and select a date range control. So this is the date range control. You can select a date range control, and it automatically gives you a date range, asking you to select the date range. So I'll be selecting from Feb 1st as a start date, and end date should not be greater than today's date. So I mean the current date. So I'll be giving the end date as 4. So apply. See, it is like displaying the this one. Why this is showing in the sense here under the competitor name there is no such date. So when you change the date as March 1st, sorry, end date, current date as March 1st, and end date as, then apply. So it is not even displaying. So I'll take one date. So 1/1/2024, then 8/1/2024. So go here, 1/1, then 8/1. Click on this, apply. See, now it is displaying the formula. So whatever you do, it is like it is not only changing in this sheet, it will be like the dates will be changing in all the charts whichever you have like applied. Next, it talks about add dynamic filter for store and location. So it is asking you to generate a dynamic filter, add a drop down list as store ID and location. So click on add a control. There is a drop down list. Click the drop down list. So we can see which store we are like selling the products and what is the location. So set store ID and location. Here it talks about set store ID. So give the store ID here, and a location. So location. Okay, it is not giving me the option to add one more here, because there's no option. I can only edit. So I'm supposed to do add another box. Then you can rename this. Okay, drop down single. Okay. So if you click on the drop down list, see, it is like displaying the list of stores that are like available for so and so date. If you change the date, then you can see more number of stores that is like available for that date. Then it talks about the competitor pricing. For this store, what is the competitor pricing? Then it is asking you to add for location. It is the same thing. So click on add a control, drop down list, generate a drop down box, and in customer name click on location. So it will like display the location for you. See? West, and what is the count in west location, south, north, east. So this and all are the location for you. Then the outcome is like select time period, we have already done. Then for this time period it shows the specific stores, and it shows the category. So as such, we have seen the store ID and we have seen the location as category. uh, and step 9 is share and automate reports. How do you share and automate reports? So once this is done, I'll just show how to do it. So this is like we have already worked on the data visualization part. If you want to like a theme and layout, click on theme and layout, and you can choose different themes. See how it is like analyzing you. It is showing the demand versus actual sales, highlight the stock products in red color. Then it is like scatter plot. Then what is the total discount given? So you can change your themes and layout based on the data that is like required. And once you're done with this, it says share add view. So there is an option called share. You can click on share button and you can like send it to people whoever you want. So I'll be sending it to some random person. Click on send option, so it will like automatically send this data to them. See, then
I mean,
click on.
in real life, you can think about that you want to share the information with your manager or your other peers. You got a logistics data set. Now you are done with your analysis and you want them to review. That's what you can click on the share and they will have access to this report.
Yeah, so click
Alexan,
on
go ahead.
done. And there is one more option called schedule automated email report. So every day this is your regular task and you want to schedule an automatic report. So again, click on share option. You have a drop down. Click on that. Then you have a schedule delivery. Click on schedule delivery. So you can change it. You can like customize it however you want. Every day you're supposed to send a report around 9 a.m. in the morning and repeat it daily. Daily you make some changes and you want to send it automatically, or every weekend, weekday, however you want, you can customize. I'll keep it daily. Then click on save. So once you click on save, automatically, whether you make the changes or not, you just go upload your existing data with the new data. It automatically changes and it automatically shares you the report to the random person that you wanted. So we have covered till step 9, and this is our final outcome. Why this data visualization like important? What it exactly does? You can go through the entire curriculum.
Okay, so this is the overall presentation about how to use Looker Studio, but this is not it. This is what about is a very basic introduction about data visualization, and we are just preparing you for performing your final project. Because when you will go for that one, go for your final project, before that one, you are going to have few sessions about giving you proper domain knowledge. For example, in this case, you are going to work on the supply chain domain. In some other cases, someone may want to work with some different domain. So it doesn't matter whatever domain they use, we are going to show them how to gain necessary knowledge in that area. We can have some sessions about this domain knowledge. If not, we can show you how to use the U2X AI tools. Then we are going to go for the final project, and there are few many projects, and during those projects you are exactly going to achieve all, or you are going to perform all these activities. Because at the end of the day, like you know that this is not a typical internship program where you will just go do some work and come back. This is about preparing you ready for the actual job interviews. And everything you see here is targeted whatever the hiring manager is going to ask you during the interviews. If you see here this week what you will learn, you learned about how to use data cleaning. That is what about yesterday's sessions, basics of data and data cleaning. Now they will learn two different ways to do that, using Python, Google Colab, or you can use Jupyter Notebook for that one. And also you learn how to do that one using Google Spreadsheet. So next week you are going to use some more advanced tools where you are going to do data cleaning and data transformation activities. Now this itself is going to make you eligible for appearing the job interviews right away, because you are well experienced with data analysis, data cleaning, data transformation, and uh, data visualization, and there is nothing more than that. Now you have to gain some more knowledge, like domain knowledge. That is what you are going to do with projects. And then either if you are getting ready for your next internship project, or you are getting ready for your next job interviews, this is exactly is going to help you. So keep that in mind, that those are the steps we are going to perform over the next few weeks. So just be serious. I'm also going to share the same information in the group, and just following this step itself, and we're going to have many more interactive sessions where we are going to have like real life thing what happens during the job interviews. That's where I'm going to share all my experience. Like probably I interviewed thousands of students and selected hundreds of them, what really we are the hiring managers look for from the students. when they're going for the final recruitment, what really they compare. If there are three students on the interview, for the interview, who gets selected and who gets rejected, what are the typical things they're looking for. So now this is just a data visualization, and if three people ask the same question, explain me what is data visualization, and the answer depends, because all three of them are going to give different answers, right? But the way we are going to preparing you, we are going to prepare you with all the foundation knowledge, and also how exactly to answer that questions, so that they are going to, it is pretty much like they should like your answer, right? So that means how you are going to impress the interviewer. That is what is going to be the goal of this program. So like we are almost done with week 2, 6 more weeks, but just stay tuned. I mean, stay tuned with the God now. Look out for all the messages, do all the homeworks and exercises, and work on the real life projects, and then pretty much like you will be seeing like a job offer in next few months if you are ready for the job interview. All right, so I'll stop here. So any questions from the group? Okay, if no questions, I'm going to stop here. And we have one open office hour today also. So if you have anything else you want to talk about, join that call, and then you can, so that definitely there will be someone to help you with your questions. Thank you for joining today. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, sir.